In the frozen ice-cold world of the North, there's one creature known to be the largest carnivore on Earth. A creature known to be able to devour 10% of its massive body weight at a single sitting. A creature known as Ursus maritimus, or the polar bear. Stay with CNN iReport now as we track and locate one of the world's most ferocious predators.
I'm with Andy Macpherson. And Andy is a guide, a special guide for polar bears up here just north of Churchill, about 30 miles. Andy tells me if we went in a straight line from Churchill, Manitoba, northern Canada. We're going to learn all about polar bears, and if we're really lucky, we're going to find one or two out there today. And this is prime time for polar bears on land here off of the Hudson's Bay, right? What do you say we head up the coast and let's see if we can track a polar bear? And tell me, how are we going to do this? What are we going to see, and what will happen today?
Generally, the bears are going to be hunkering down a little bit, getting out of the wind. So we're going to be checking in the lee of a lot of different areas.
Okay.
The lee of rocks, the lee of bushes. Basically keeping our eyes open for big white spots.
Now, will they be able to smell us at any point?
Their sense of smell is incredible.
Really?
It's the main sense that they depend on, far more than they depend on their eyesight. Basically, a distance that we're going to get our guest to is probably about 60, 70 yards. We'd like to have that distance so we have an opportunity to react if the bear decides to do something that we don't agree with.
Yeah. The bear has done most of its eating now off of the ice. It's coming here to do what?
Basically, it's going to spend its summer in what we call is basically a fasting period, or what some people term as a walking hibernation.
I see.
So this is a time of the year that it's going to have very limited access to food. So basically, it's coming ashore, it's biding its time, it's conserving its energy for the fall and freeze up again.
Well, we found a set of bear tracks here. They're not super fresh. They've been covered up by the tide down here. I don't know whether you can see them, but they're still in the sand right in here.
Tell me a little bit about the personality of a polar bear. Are they aggressive? Are they mean? Are they people eaters? Tell me a little bit about it.
Polar bears are basically a super curious animal. On an evolutionary line, they're basically at the forefront of the Ursus line. So polar bears evolved about 250,000 years ago from brown bears.
One thing we know about polar bears is they are the world's largest land carnivore. They are big meat eaters. They eat a lot of it, right?
They can sit down to a meal and eat about 10% of their body weight in a single eating.
Wow.
So if you've got a 1,000-pound polar bear, you might have a bear that sits down and eats 100 pounds of meat before it decides to...
Well, we do that on July 4th at those hot dog eating contests.
That's
you
right.
get a few people that can do that, so that's not a big deal.